Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Anime Octopus. Today we continue an intense and exciting storyline with What If Naruko Was the Strongest Upper Moon, Part 3. In the previous parts, we saw Naruko rise beyond expectations, rewriting the balance of power among the upper moons. In this part, the consequences of that strength begin to shake both demons and demon slayers alike, pushing the story toward a much darker and more unpredictable path. Disclaimer: the content on this channel is created purely for entertainment and discussion purposes. I do not own any of the anime footage used in this video. All rights and credits belong to their respective creators and copyright holders. Let's start, guys. 4 days later, the remaining teams arrived at the tall training tower: Team Dosu, Team Guy, Team 8, Team 10, and, of course, Team 7. Naruko's heart raced as she remembered the news her sensei had shared about Orochimaru and the mysterious gift he had given Sasuke, a strange mark known as the Cursed Seal of Heaven. Naruko frowned thoughtfully. So Orochimaru is interested in Sasuke. But why? Maybe this is a clue I can use to protect my friends, she whispered to herself. What are you thinking, Naruko-chan? Asked Tomomi, her teammate, curiosity shining in her eyes. Even though I don't like tricksters, Naruko replied firmly, Orochimaru might hold a piece of the puzzle I need to protect everyone, help Anko overcome the seal, and keep the village safe. Tomomi nodded. I can help you with Sarutobi-sensei. When he uses his bow staff, he sometimes leaves his right side open when preparing a big move. Thanks, Tomomi-chan. That's exactly the kind of help I need, Naruko said, determination in her voice. Is it time? Yes. It's time, Tomomi replied. Naruko closed her eyes and entered a deep meditative state, traveling through her mindscape. In her imagination, she found herself in a quiet cottage that represented the training grounds of her mind. She could see the challenges ahead like a puzzle waiting to be solved. With careful thought, she mapped out strategies, practiced new jutsus, and imagined the teamwork she would need to succeed. All right, Naruko said with a determined smile, time to put all this practice into action. Naruko and the Mysterious Spirit. Naruko was a spirited young ninja in training with bright blonde hair and an unstoppable energy. She always dreamed of becoming the greatest ninja in her village, not for fame, but to protect her friends and help others. Though sometimes mischievous, her heart was always in the right place. One sunny afternoon, while training near the forest outside the village, Naruko heard a strange, melodic voice calling her name. Curious, she followed it through the trees until she came upon a sparkling, swirling light hovering above a mossy rock. Hello? Naruko asked cautiously. Who's there? The light took shape, revealing a small, fox-like spirit with 9 tails, shimmering with golden fur. I'm Kiyomi, a spirit who's been trapped here for hundreds of years, the fox said softly. I need your help to restore balance to the forest. Naruko's eyes sparkled. She had always dreamed of meeting a magical creature. Of course. I'll help you. But what do I need to do? Kiyomi explained that the forest's magic had been disrupted by careless human activity, causing some plants and creatures to become confused and frightened. Naruko's task was to guide lost animals safely, calm the magical energy, and help Kiyomi find the forest's heart, a hidden spring that held the forest's life-giving magic. Sounds like an adventure, Naruko exclaimed. Let's get started. Together, Naruko and Kiyomi raced through the forest. They rescued a baby deer stuck in a thicket, helped a family of birds rebuild their nest, and even calmed a grouchy turtle who had wandered too far from the stream. Each task made Naruko stronger and wiser, teaching her patience, courage, and kindness. At last, they reached the hidden spring, glowing with pure, shimmering water. Naruko placed her hands over it, and Kiyomi guided her in channeling her inner energy. A warm golden light enveloped the forest, and everything felt alive again. You did it, Naruko. Kiyomi cheered. Because of your bravery and heart, the forest is safe. Naruko smiled, panting from the adventure but feeling proud. I couldn't have done it without you, Kiyomi. I've learned that being a ninja isn't just about fighting, it's about helping, protecting, and understanding others. The fox spirit twirled happily around her. I think you're ready for even bigger adventures, Naruko. The world needs ninjas like you. Naruko laughed. Then let's keep going. There are lots more friends to help and mysteries to solve. And with that, Naruko and Kiyomi set off deeper into the forest, ready for the next magical adventure, together. Naruko and the Whispering Forest. Part 1, The Strange Signal. The sun was just peeking over the mountains surrounding the Hidden Leaf Village, painting the village in shades of gold and orange. Naruko stretched her arms high above her head, yawning loudly, and tugged her headband into place. Another day of training, she muttered to herself, a grin spreading across her freckled face. Let's see if I can finally master that wind jutsu today. Naruko loved challenges. She wasn't the fastest ninja in her class, yet, but she had a determination that no one could match. She dashed toward the training field, her bright orange outfit flapping in the breeze. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed through the trees, a soft whisper, almost like the wind was talking to her. Naruko froze. The sound wasn't like the usual forest noises, it had rhythm, almost like a message. Naruko, help. Her eyes widened. She was the only one awake this early, and no one else was nearby. Who's there? She called bravely, clutching her kunai. A faint shimmer of light appeared between the trees. As she approached, the light grew brighter, forming the shape of a small, fox-like spirit with 9 tails. Its fur glowed gold, and each tail seemed to flicker with little sparks of light. Hello, Naruko said cautiously. Are you, a spirit? I am Kiyomi, guardian of the Whispering Forest, the fox replied. The forest is in danger, and only a ninja with a pure heart can help me restore it. Naruko's heart raced. A real magical spirit. She had heard stories about forest guardians but had never actually seen one. Danger? She asked. What kind of danger? Kiyomi's ears drooped slightly. Something is disrupting the balance. Creatures are frightened, plants are wilting, and the forest's magic is fading. If this continues, the village itself could be affected. Naruko squared her shoulders. Then we don't have a moment to lose. Tell me what to do, Kiyomi. Part 2, The Puzzle of the Stone Statues. Kiyomi led Naruko deeper into the forest, moving with a speed and grace that Naruko had never seen. As they went, the forest grew darker, yet the fox spirit glowed, lighting their path. After a few minutes, they arrived at a clearing. In the middle were 5 stone statues, each shaped like a different forest animal, a rabbit, a hawk, a turtle, a fox, and a deer. These statues are part of the forest's protective magic, Kiyomi explained. But something has blocked their power. You must awaken them in the correct order to restore the balance. Naruko studied the statues carefully. Each had a symbol carved into it, a leaf, a feather, a shell, a flame, and a swirl. This looks like a puzzle, Naruko said, her eyes sparkling. I love puzzles. She tried touching the rabbit statue first. Nothing happened. Then the hawk. Still nothing. She paused, taking a deep breath. Wait, maybe it's about the order of nature. Life starts with the earth, then water, air, fire, and spirit? She muttered. Carefully, Naruko pressed the statues in the order: turtle, deer, hawk, fox, rabbit. When she touched the last one, the statues glowed with a soft golden light, and the forest around them seemed to sigh with relief. Leaves shimmered, flowers lifted their petals, and small animals peeked out from the bushes. You did it, Kiyomi said, bouncing with excitement. The forest is responding to your courage and cleverness. Naruko smiled proudly. I guess being a ninja isn't just about fighting. Sometimes it's about thinking and observing. Part 3, The Mischievous Sprites. As they celebrated, a group of tiny glowing sprites darted through the air, giggling and playing tricks on Naruko. One of them tugged at her hair, another tied her shoelaces together, and the last one flicked her nose with a tiny spark of magic. Hey! Stop that, Naruko laughed, hopping to untangle herself. Kiyomi chuckled. Those are forest sprites. They are playful but harmless. They can be convinced to help you if you gain their trust. Naruko knelt and spoke softly. Hi there. I'm Naruko, and I want to help the forest. Can you help me too? The sprites paused, studying her. One sprite floated close and placed a tiny hand on her shoulder. Then another did the same. Slowly, they began forming a glowing path through the forest. Follow them, Kiyomi urged. They're leading us to the heart of the forest, the spring that holds all of the forest's magic. Naruko grinned. I knew you'd like me, little guys. She followed the sprites, careful not to step on the glowing path, which seemed to hum with energy. Part 4, The River of Challenges. Eventually, Naruko and Kiyomi reached a river that glowed faintly under the sunlight. But it wasn't ordinary water. Strange currents swirled against the flow, forming small whirlpools and floating rocks. To reach the spring, you must cross this river, Kiyomi said. But it will only let those with balance, courage, and cleverness pass safely. Naruko studied the river. Balance, courage, and cleverness. I can do that. She leapt onto a floating rock. It wobbled under her weight, but she steadied herself with quick movements of her arms. Halfway across, a strong current tried to push her off. She leapt onto the next rock just in time, spinning in midair to avoid slipping. Wow! This is like ninja training on a river, she shouted, laughing with excitement. Finally, she landed on the last rock and jumped safely onto the riverbank. Kiyomi's tails twitched happily. You've passed the river's test. The forest knows your heart is true. Part 5, The Heart of the Forest. At last, they arrived at a hidden grove. In the center bubbled a spring of shimmering golden water, surrounded by enormous flowers that pulsed gently like they were breathing. This is it, Kiyomi said. The heart of the forest. Place your hands on the water and channel your energy into it. Naruko knelt, her palms hovering over the surface. She closed her eyes and imagined the forest thriving, animals playing, flowers blooming, birds singing. Slowly, a warm glow rose from her hands and merged with the spring. The flowers swayed, the trees straightened, and a gentle wind whispered through the grove. You did it, Naruko, Kiyomi said, bouncing with joy. Because of your bravery, kindness, and cleverness, the forest is alive again. Naruko smiled, panting but feeling proud. It wasn't just me. You helped too, Kiyomi. And the little sprites. She waved to the glowing figures who were now dancing happily around the spring. Kiyomi nudged her gently. The forest has chosen you as its honorary guardian. Remember, a true ninja protects not just the village, but all life. Naruko's eyes sparkled. I promise I'll do my best. And I can't wait for the next adventure. The forest seemed to hum with agreement, as if echoing her words. The morning after Naruko had restored the heart of the forest, she returned to the village, still glowing with excitement from her adventure. Her training usually involved running laps, throwing shuriken, and practicing basic jutsu, but today she felt an extra spark in her heart, as if the forest's magic had followed her home. Just as she was about to step into the training field, she noticed a group of unfamiliar ninjas arriving at the village gates. They were dressed in dark blue uniforms with intricate silver patterns, and their expressions were serious, even a little challenging. Among them was a tall girl with jet black hair tied in a high ponytail, her eyes sharp and calculating, and beside her a boy with spiky brown hair who wore a confident smirk that suggested he had never lost a fight. Naruko felt a shiver of curiosity mixed with determination. She had trained hard, but she had never faced rival ninjas from another village before. Without hesitation, the jet black-haired girl stepped forward, her voice strong and commanding. We are from the neighboring Skywind village. We've come to test our skills against yours. Only the strongest ninja in your village can face us. Naruko's fists clenched instinctively. She didn't like the idea of fighting for bragging rights, but she also didn't back down from a challenge. She stepped forward, trying to keep her voice steady despite the flutter in her chest. I'm Naruko. I've trained hard to protect my village and my friends. If you want to test your skills, you'll have to go through me. The brown-haired boy laughed lightly, clearly amused. Bold for someone your age. Let's see if your confidence matches your skills. Kiyomi, who had followed Naruko quietly, floated beside her, her tails flickering with energy. Naruko, remember what you learned in the forest, the fox spirit whispered. Strength isn't only about power. Use your heart and your mind. Observe your opponents and adapt. Naruko nodded, taking a deep breath. The first challenge wasn't about causing harm, it was about skill, agility, and clever thinking. The rival ninjas moved with surprising speed, performing flips and jumps that Naruko had only ever practiced in training simulations. She ducked and twirled, narrowly avoiding a playful, but challenging, kunai aimed at her midsection. Using a combination of wind jutsu and clever footwork, she countered their attacks, leaving both of them momentarily stunned. As the spar continued, Naruko realized her rivals weren't mean-spirited, they were focused and disciplined, just like her. She began to respect their skill, and that respect only fueled her determination. With a burst of energy, she performed a new variation of the shadow clone technique she had been practicing for weeks, creating 3 copies of herself that flitted around the training field, distracting the rival ninjas. The girl with black hair responded quickly, summoning her own clones with a flick of her wrist, and suddenly the field was alive with movement, shadows darting, sparks of energy flying. Naruko laughed with exhilaration, realizing that this wasn't just a test, it was a chance to learn. Every dodge, every counter, every clever maneuver sharpened her mind and honed her instincts. The brown-haired boy smirked as he called out, "Not bad, Naruko. You've got guts and imagination. But let's see how well you can think on your feet." With that, he summoned a series of spinning wind discs, sending them toward Naruko and her clones. She dashed forward, leaping over the first disc, twisting midair to avoid the second, and then carefully guiding a clone to redirect the last one harmlessly into a nearby haystack. The forest surrounding the training field rustled as though cheering her on, and Kiyomi's tail swirled with pride. Naruko realized that while her rivals were challenging, they were teaching her something invaluable: focus, creativity, and confidence. By the time the sun reached its peak, all four ninjas were panting, laughing, and smiling, their previous tension transformed into mutual respect. As the rival ninjas prepared to leave, the black-haired girl approached Naruko, a faint smile softening her sharp features. "You're strong, and you think differently from anyone I've faced. Keep training, and you could be the pride of your village." Naruko grinned, feeling a sense of accomplishment she had never known before. "I'll keep improving," she said firmly. "And next time, I hope we can train together again." The boy with the spiky hair waved and called back, "Don't forget to practice your footwork. You're quick, but you're going to need speed and strategy if you want to keep up with us." With that, they disappeared toward the village gates, leaving Naruko buzzing with energy. She turned to Kiyomi, who was floating beside her with an approving nod. "See, Naruko? Rivalry can be a gift. It pushes you to become better than you were yesterday." Naruko's eyes shone brightly. "I think I understand now. Strength isn't just about fighting or winning, it's about growing, learning, and helping others. I want to be the kind of ninja who can protect everyone, no matter how big or small the challenge." Kiyomi twirled in delight, her tails glimmering. "Then we have much more training ahead. The forest and your village both need a ninja like you. But tomorrow, we will add even more surprises to your adventure, new techniques, clever puzzles, and maybe even a hidden treasure within the Whispering Forest." Naruko's grin widened, her heart pounding with excitement. "Bring it on. I'm ready for anything." The afternoon sun began to dip toward the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of pink and gold, as Naruko stood in the training field, still buzzing from her encounter with the rival ninjas. She wiped a bead of sweat from her forehead and laughed softly to herself. It had been an exhausting day, full of challenges and clever maneuvers, but more than anything, it had been thrilling. The rival ninjas from Skywind Village had tested her limits, but instead of feeling defeated, she felt stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. Kiyomi hovered nearby, her tails flicking playfully, sensing Naruko's determination. "You've grown so much today," the fox spirit said. "You faced challenges, respected your opponents, and learned from every moment. That is the mark of a true ninja." Naruko smiled, feeling her chest swell with pride. "I didn't just win by fighting," she said thoughtfully. "I won by thinking, staying calm, and working with what I had. And I had fun, too." She glanced at the forest beyond the village, remembering the glowing heart of the forest, the playful sprites, and the swirling river that had tested her balance and courage. "Everything I've done today, it's all connected. Helping the forest, learning from my rivals. It all makes me stronger and ready for what's next." Just then, the two rival ninjas returned briefly, this time with smiles instead of challenges. The black-haired girl bowed slightly. "Naruko, you've proven yourself today," she said warmly. "You're not only clever and skilled, but you have the heart of a true protector. Skywind Village will hear stories of your bravery." The brown-haired boy grinned and added, "Next time we meet, it'll be fun to see how much stronger you've gotten. Keep practicing, Naruko." Naruko waved energetically. "I will. And I hope we can learn from each other again, maybe even train together next time." The rival ninjas nodded and ran off toward the village gates, leaving Naruko alone but filled with a sense of achievement that warmed her from head to toe. As the evening settled, Naruko wandered back toward the forest. The trees swayed gently in the wind, and the magical glow of the heart of the forest shimmered faintly through the branches. The sprites appeared, twinkling and giggling as they flew circles around her. Kiyomi floated close, her tails curling proudly around Naruko. "The forest is peaceful again, thanks to you," the fox spirit said. "But remember, a ninja's journey never truly ends. There are always more challenges, more friends to meet, and more lessons to learn. And I believe you are ready for all of it." Naruko nodded, feeling a warmth in her chest. "I know. Today taught me that being a ninja isn't just about strength or jutsu, it's about courage, kindness, and using your brain as much as your body. I want to protect the people I care about and everything that's important." The forest seemed to hum in response, the leaves whispering and the water of the hidden spring sparkling in the fading light. Naruko felt a deep sense of connection to the world around her, the village, the forest, and even the rival ninjas who had challenged her to be better. "I promise I'll keep learning," she whispered softly to the forest and to Kiyomi. "I'll grow stronger, smarter, and kinder every day." Kiyomi's tail swirled, sparkling brightly like the stars beginning to appear overhead. And I'll be right here, guiding you and watching over you. You're a true guardian, Naruko. As night fell, Naruko returned to the village, tired but happy. She lay on her bed that night, thinking about the day's adventures, the puzzles she had solved, the clever moves she had executed against her rivals, and the magical forest she had helped save. She realized that being a ninja wasn't about showing off power, it was about heart, determination, and using your abilities to make the world a better place. She smiled as she drifted to sleep, Kiyomi curled up beside her, and even the whispers of the forest seemed to lull her with a sense of peace and contentment. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new friends, and more opportunities to grow, but for now, Naruko felt ready for anything. And so, with courage in her heart, cleverness in her mind, and kindness in her actions, Naruko, guardian of the forest, protector of her village, and friend to all, closed her eyes and dreamed of the countless adventures yet to come. The stars above twinkled as if to promise that her journey was only beginning, and that every step she took would lead to more laughter, more lessons, and more stories of bravery and friendship. The forest, the village, and the world beyond were all a little brighter because of her, and Naruko knew that no matter what challenges appeared, she would face them with courage, cleverness, and a heart full of hope. My dear YouTube family, this is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, it truly helps me keep creating content you love. Thank you for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Warm regards. Anime Octopus.